Welcome back to Aurelius Whitlock's Murder Museum. Hi, I'm Marcus Richardson.
And I'm Nathan Hicken.
And I'm Bill Sunderland.
And I'm Dani Siller.
And we're back for part 2 of the Alchemy exhibit. You just discovered something. Go ahead.
Yes. As a quick rundown of part 1, we have found a body by a failed experiment, singed.
Seemingly, something exploded on him and burned him all up. We've met his 3 assistants.
He's clearly stealing all of their work for his papers. And we've discovered that the cauldron had venom and gold in it, which is from one of their experiments. Ash, don't know where that's from. And also, possibly both of his big toes to increase potion potency to 100%. That's where we're at.
All right. So, well, he was definitely using what Lacey's been researching for this, at the very least. That's fascinating.
We never found out what Karina was working on at the moment. Oh, Polyjuice potion.
Yeah.
Polyjuice potion.
Which, again, still so we need to figure out how much do we need to take into account. Is that just as a signal that, yes, he has indeed been stealing research, because Bartleby did have an award for some research on Polyjuice potion? Does the portrait, the picture of the award receiving have dates on it? Does it say how long ago that was? She's been working with him for 2 years. Okay. Let's assume.
Does not have dates.
Let's assume that it was within 2 years.
Yeah.
Always a good detective trait. So, do we assume that it's just there for that reason, or should we be worried that someone is shape-changing into someone else as well? I hope not.
I actually have a quick question about those other ingredients. If I open those jars of adder's tongue, boomslang, and doppelflies, do they have any distinctive odors?
We're all about that smell.
Not anything that you've smelled before.
Okay, cool. I just thought maybe the residue, right? Like we figured out its main components, but perhaps that smell that we found lingering, that acidic, smoky smell, could have also been related to, and that could have been a way to tie in something from the Polyjuice era.
Possibly.
There's still stuff to look at if we want to keep looking around, but we do know that he appears to be mixing their research together. Or this experiment seemed to mix a lot of their research together.
Yeah, very true. So there are 2 other things I want to do. It feels like it makes sense. It's not the most exciting thing, but to go to the bookshelf and actually start looking stuff up, so we're not just assuming what anything does.
Yeah.
And, like, look up Phoenix Ash and things like that.
Why don't we? Why don't we go to the bookshelf to see if we can find these research papers that he's so famous for?
Because the alternative is to go into the supply closet and look at what's full and look at what's empty.
You're right,
to
but
make
I think we'll have the
deductions
same issue where we'll see them and we'll be like, great, now we know some deductions, but we don't know how relevant they are because we haven't read the papers. And so rather than find everything and then determine relevance, why don't we determine relevance and then see if we can find it?
Fine. That makes perfect sense. It's all good.
To the bookshelf.
All right, you go to the bookshelf. There is a bunch of books, textbooks. There's a small marble bust, and then just stacks of papers. You rifle through the papers, and you do indeed find all 4 of the papers from the portraits.
Right.
All right, now I don't know how much of a summary you can give us of relevant parts or whether you want us to look up stuff specifically.
I also have to get my interruption of I pull on the bust, I rotate the bust, I open the secret passageway.
Yeah, we flip his head open, we press the button to get into the Batcave.
Got it. Well, on the back there is an inscription.
Close enough, I guess.
Yeah, what
do you want to...
Yeah, let's do the bust.
Go to that first or the paper? Okay. The bust says, first to the spider, a venomous breed, then a disguise in liquid you'll need. Next to the bird, rebirth in their name. Finally, a cloth, and you'll have the last frame.
Oh, so ashes to ashes was
Phoenix.
Was Phoenix. And then cloth, old lace. So it's acromantula venom, then polyjuice, then the ash paper, and then the lace paper. So we have a connection of...
Is this a puzzle? Do we need to rearrange the photo frames or something?
Who knows? Can we rearrange the photo frames
I don't
in
know
that
what
order?
magic does.
See if it unlocks a safe.
You rearrange the portraits, nothing happens.
Okay.
Can we Can we press the stars on the portraits in that order?
You can. You press the stars in that
Don't
order.
you invite us to a murder mystery, then turn it into an escape room?
We can do what we want.
And yeah, exactly.
Don't show, idiots!
The marble bust opens up.
Ooh.
What?
And what's inside?
Inside, more papers and a small diamond ring.
Ah, now, interesting. He didn't sell this diamond ring, so his debts were never fully paid off, and that's why he killed himself.
Oh
Wait.
my gosh.
Wait, hold on a second.
Wait, was
Wait.
on his
It's all
right or
coming
left
together.
hand?
Were there fingerprints on the cauldron?
It was wiped clean.
Oh my
It wasn't
god!
murder.
Gosh.
More papers inside? What papers are inside here?
These look like specific experiment notes written by, it looks like the Prime himself.
Give me those notes. I'll never blow myself up. The one thing I know for sure is I could never blow myself
It
up.
would be good to know what he knows.
For I am the Prime. Even Tolus, I am the Prime.
Well, you find the following. There is a lot of experiment notes here. He was clearly trying to brew a specific potion. You do find a little description at the beginning. It says, after years and years of searching, I think I've finally got a solid lead. Phoenix and Lyra have always known, and soon I will too. I am going to live forever, and no one will ever forget me. I don't need to discover the secret to immortality, I only need to steal it. As you go through, it looks like the professor is working on something that he calls a knowledge potion. And it says, near the end, in one of the last pages, that after months of trial and error, I, with a little help from my favorite assistant, have finally figured out how to brew the knowledge potion correctly. Brewing this will allow a person to absorb the knowledge of another party. Unfortunately, in order to work, the victim needs to be dead. The ingredients are as follows: Athenius, cowbane, and a piece of the person. As with polyjuice, we assume that the most potent part of the body would increase the potency of the potion, though we shall test that with our subjects soon enough.
Interesting. So this is a... So let me... Danny, let's double check what we know now.
Yeah.
He thinks that one of his people knows how to create a potion of immortality. He mentions... What was it? Phoenix and something... What did he say about who knew it?
Phoenix and Lyra. Does this name sound familiar to you? You have heard them before.
Phoenix and Lyra. Lyra, I don't think we've heard before.
Oh, no.
Was it possibly... I only took down partial notes for what's on those portraits. Was Lyra written on one of the portraits?
No.
Then...
You saw those names before you even walked into this room.
Oh, they're our names. That's us. That's who we are.
Ta-da!
Were they on our... They were on our desk, right?
Yes.
The headmaster.
It's on your
That's a
desk.
good thing to know.
The bodies that we have inhabited, those are our names. We're Phoenix and Lyra.
Yes.
So we know immortality, obviously.
I mean, yeah, we've been here
We're
for a
immortal.
while.
And he wanted to steal our knowledge by making a potion, but also we would have to be dead. Did he say we'd have to be dead or it kills them? It says that they have to be dead.
They would have to be dead in order to work.
He is dead. He also says you have to use part of someone's body, and he is missing some of his body. So perhaps it seems that someone turned this around on him and tried to kill him to steal his knowledge?
Potentially.
How
bad are you, bad Watson?
Potentially. I'm not that bad. I wouldn't steal his... Though then again, I believe the museum just caused us to inhabit these bodies. I could be the murderer.
It's true.
So the ingredients for the potion that takes knowledge is Athenius,
Mm-hmm.
cowbane, and a piece of that person.
Yes.
Now, he is missing pieces. So someone may have already taken a piece of his person.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen Athenius and cowbane, but we haven't looked at the supply closet.
Mm-hmm.
So is our thought that he was trying to make... Because he didn't seem to be trying to make this potion. Like, he was putting venom and ash and other stuff in there. But did someone, like, trap whatever he was working on to kill him, then cut his toes off, then run away with his toes so they could get all of his knowledge? And so the kid... Remember how Delphinus doesn't know anything, but really, really refuses to admit the fact that he doesn't know anything?
Sure.
When we made up lore about the university, he was like, oh, I know that. I know everything. I'm so smart. He's clearly insecure about knowing stuff. And he was here last night.
Yeah, but not insecure enough to try to get the knowledge in any way, shape, or form.
That's just because he doesn't think he can.
Uh-huh.
But this, maybe he wants to get the knowledge. Like, he feels like people think he's an idiot and he's not smart, and he's like, my uncle's the smartest man in the world. I wish I were that smart. I could be that smart. All I need to do is chop off his big toes.
Maybe. But on the other hand, Karina has been here for a couple of years and is clearly realizing that she's not cut out for it, even though she thought she would be.
She dreamed of being an alchemist, but then doesn't like the current world of academia.
She's pretty good at all sorts of weird potions. And as soon as we gave her an out, she fled.
She did leave the scene. Lacey seems less likely to have done this.
But we can't forget she was eating that weird sandwich.
I'm going to forget that. Wait, what if we find out that was his favorite sandwich? What if we find out that he's the only person who ever liked that sandwich and then it's like she's eating it because she absorbed his knowledge that the sandwich tastes good. She now knows that
knowledge.
It's a good sandwich.
That's a knowledge.
That's how knowledge works.
You don't find
the
it
taste
sus.
of sandwiches is definitely objectively knowledge. You have to know these things.
I'm just saying, if you absorb all someone's knowledge, you might absorb some of their taste.
You don't find it at all sus that it was first thing in the morning that we have pulled these people out here and she's already eating a sandwich?
Yeah, lock her up. Okay.
I think we've done a 2-minute mysteries much like that.
I'll say, I don't think anything. We don't have the evidence yet, but I'm liking this moment to talk through some theories, because I think that's clearly what's happened here. Do you want to have a look through the other papers? Or have I interrupted this description before it was finished? Is there other stuff? I think we're done with what was written in the...
Yes,
and the ring. I don't know the importance of the ring.
No, neither do I. Was the ring engraved?
Yes, there's a note on the ring, like, to my beloved, Lacey, I love you so much. I hope nobody kills me.
Alas, there's nothing on the ring.
That's cool. Maybe we need to make our own potion later and we need diamond for it.
Maybe
Foolproof.
it's just a source of ingredients.
I think that we should look... We
didn't look at the other papers on the... We took a detour. We still have not looked at the papers that we wanted to look at originally.
This is true. Like, we know all about the body parts in alchemy, but the others still need some work.
Yeah, can we have a look at some of these other papers, maybe starting with Old Lace?
Yes, okay. Arsenine and Old Lace, you read through it. Basically, it goes through the effects of the arsenine poison. So symptoms, cures, etc. The symptoms catch your eye. It says green tongue, headache, blurry vision.
Oh, interesting.
How singed is the body's tongue?
Does he have a green tongue?
You go over to the body, open his mouth, and yes, his tongue is green.
Okay, so he may have been poisoned. Does he have a headache? Can I ask his corpse?
You said earlier that we could see his eyes. Are they blurred?
Oh, yeah, are his eyes all blurry looking?
Wow.
I think that blurred vision is not the same thing as blurred eyes.
That's just because you're a bad alchemist.
All right.
Fair enough.
Okay, so it looks at least ostensibly like he's been green tongue poisoned. Although I want to know, headache and blurry vision makes me think that it could be Karina, who's very out of it. Maybe she's not sleepy. Maybe she has a headache and blurry vision.
Well, this
Can we get her back in and say, stick out your tongue!
Fiend!
Fiend! I say, Cygnus, grab that girl!
Or has she gone forever?
All three of them are still waiting at the hallway.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
asked them all to stick their tongues out. On pain of death.
They all stick their tongues out. Delphinus says, you're not going to cut it off, are you?
I say, no, not at all, reaching for a big knife.
He does not show his tongue. The other two
Damn
girls
it. I put
stick
the
out
tongue
their
away.
tongues.
But the knife away. I said, come on, stick out your tongue, Delphinus. Or I'll
All right.
cut your lips off to get to the tongue. Oh no! Oh, what's happening? What's happening in this murder mystery? Stop me, Danny! Quickly take over.
Oh no.
Yeah, he trembles, but the three of them stick out their tongues and they look normal.
And how bad is Lacey's breath?
Lacey's breath,
She was eating an onion sandwich.
pretty bad.
Okay,
Mhm.
It might have been a sauerkraut sandwich.
it might have been. Next,
What's next?
next of the papers.
Yeah, which was that?
Mighty Morphin Power Ranger.
Okay. That's a good
All
idea.
right.
That's what I'm most interested in.
You look through the polyjuice paper. One thing you do find, I forgot to mention this to Arsenine and Old Lace. So it is Arsenine and Old Lace terminal poisons and textiles, but instead of saying Prime Niccolo Bartleby, it says by Lacey Octans.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
Stolen.
A Mighty Morph Polyjuice is written by Karina Volans.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You skim through and you find a couple things of interest. A couple names you recognize. One, the ingredients for a Polyjuice potion are adder's tongue, boomslang, doppelflies, and a piece of the person.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
The
They each take one toe.
That's fun.
The symptoms of taking a polyjuice potion or side effects include extremely bad breath.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, hold on. So someone's covering up their bad breath by eating a sandwich, do you reckon?
I mean, that was sort of where I was headed.
So that means that Lacey is not Lacey. Lacey, who was so like, isn't it great working for such a cool dude, is not Lacey because it's actually the Prime in disguise.
It was kind of where I was at, where I was trying to work my way.
Well, you should have said it out loud. I said it first, therefore I discovered it.
We have a lot of understanding because I asked Delphinus if he was hungry that I was on this track first.
Wait, hold on. Why does that matter?
Because I'm emphasizing the importance of the fact that she was eating this suspicious sandwich when no one should have been eating a sandwich at this point.
So why did you ask Delphinus?
Because I wanted to make sure that there was nothing weird about it.
Delphinus is going to be like, it turns out that all students at the academy are hungry at exactly 4 a.m. It's a side effect of the ancient magic rituals that created this place.
Just saying.
In return for knowledge, we sacrifice our appetites at 4 a.m. to the demon of hunger who patrols these halls. His name is Sickness, and we will one day free ourselves of his yoke. Like that? Is that what you expected?
This is a better setting.
Totalitarian
I like
Hogwarts.
yours.
Yes, I like it.
Okay, so Lacey, I'll just put a note here, up the top here. Lacey equals Niccolo. Great, done.
Nathan, would there have been in that paper any indication of when side effects occur?
Ooh, yes. Side effects would have occurred post ingesting the potion and lasted far well after the effects of the potion have ended.
Ah, okay. So, I'll get rid of Lacey is Niccolo.
Oh,
so
you're already
Lacey
erasing things.
equals was someone else. Okay, good. Next paper.
Which one's the next paper?
Ashes to Ashes, Funk to Funky.
Yes, that is a good idea. We do need to learn about phoenixes.
All right. Ashes to Ashes, written by Lacey Octans. The one intriguing bit you find is that Phoenix Ash is extremely volatile and, in fact, will react with nearly any kind of venom in an explosive format.
That is fair.
Okay, so that's what turned it into a bomb.
Great.
So I wonder if you could do you turn up. See, Delphinus was there, but only for a little bit. What if he went in, he was like, all right, thank you, bye. And he turned around and he left, and then Lacey walked in 2 seconds later, still as him, turned into Delphinus and said, oh, just one more thing. I heard you should throw some Phoenix Ash in there. and pretended it was part of the research and that it was great and good, and then or messed with it in some. Maybe do you reckon she pretended to be Delphinus?
Oh, I see. Well, I mean,
as part of this.
Delphinus,
plan.
Can you take off your shoes?
Oh no, you're right. She would have had to be.
Delphinus walks in. He is sweating profusely at this point, and he's
no, you're right. I get what you mean. He has all his toes.
Off my toe.
No, he's got all his toes. He's fine.
Just your fear is enough.
Lacey was Niccolo and had the meeting with him to get information or something.
I assumed. I don't even know if she was definitely. Let's say that she was pretending to be Niccolo. I don't think that it was intentional that she would have been doing anything with the Delphinus meeting. That's why she was a bit normal, as we say, and just not particularly interested, just haphazard breeze through it.
Yeah, wanted to be quick. She needed to move on to some other stuff.
Especially since it is very unusual that he would be doing his own experiments.
He was sitting by the table and the cauldron was bubbling. But he didn't say he was sitting by the table, and also he was dead on the floor. Where was the real Niccolo at that point?
That's a very good question.
Because he was scheduled for a meeting. Did Delphinus arrive on time? Maybe he arrived early or something. Delphinus!
I already asked what time he was there.
Oh yeah, he gave us a very precise time of
9:15 post Malone.
9 o'clock.
And then half
Post
to the
Malone.
witching hour. Does that timing that he said he got there match the timing of the meeting, or is that earlier than it was penciled
Does
in?
the calendar specify?
For the calendar? Does the calendar say?
Yeah, calendar says, and it is the time that he said.
Great. Do you think, just so we've got everything, we should look at that last paper?
Yes.
All right, the acronym and tool of venom informants. This one's written by another research assistant from years past, Name doesn't ring a bell. Not important. But you skim through it, and you do find out that acromantula venom is a highly valuable hallucinogen, and in fact is referred to as spider on the streets.
Okay, what does that mean? Someone was given a hallucinogen?
Have we noticed anyone hallucinating? People have been seeing things, but nothing that extraordinary yet.
Okay, that's interesting. Maybe there's no murder at all. This whole thing's a hallucination.
It was all a dream.
It was all a dream.
Then can you even trust those textbooks then?
That's a good point.
Ooh.
We should just kill everybody.
I feel like I need to ask a question of these assistants.
And what question
The problem
is
is, I feel like the one that I trust to give me an honest answer most would be Delphinus right now, but he's also the least likely to actually know.
that? Well, what question are you thinking?
I want to know how much do they know each other's subject matter?
Oh,
How intimately familiar are they with it?
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I mean, Lacey knew what they were working on.
Sure.
Like, when we
for
said, like, what...
instance-
I mean, so she could very easily have read the papers. They're all
But
in
I
the
don't-
room with all the papers on the...
But I don't know if they
bookshelf.
would,
Yeah, but...
is
I
the
mean,
thing. Maybe that's taboo.
But also, like, if we say...
Delphinus!
Okay, Delphinus.
Yes! He is so confused. He has walked in and out. The other two girls have stayed outside. And he's like, what do you want?
So, you have your own specialist topic. Yours is the old spider, and the others have their subject matters. How well do you know their subject matters? You probably know what they're working on, but do you ever delve into each other's subject matter? Or, look, let's be real. Does Lacey ever delve into either of your subject matters? Is she interested in everything?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that she's read papers. She, like I said, seems to, like learning stuff. I don't know what you want from me. I don't really know what they're working on. I know that they're, one of them's doing something to do with hair.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Close enough.
Um,
Yeah, see, this was my problem. I want the information.
Can we get Karina back in? We barely talked to her. Let's talk to her more.
Oh, if you've got questions,
I
okay.
pick up Delphinus Jazzy Jeff style and throw him out the door, and I invite Karina in.
Blah! Past the airborne Delphinus, Karina walks in.
Do you have questions? I don't have questions.
Hey,
for
Karina, how well do you know other people's research material?
Let's see, what was her voice? Her voice was kind of high, actually.
this, it was. Oh, hello, it's me, Karina.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I wish I could do that voice. Nope. All right. I think that we usually keep to our own stuff. Like, I'm pretty subspecialized. I wouldn't be surprised if Lacey dabbles in other stuff. I don't think that Delphinus knows anything, honestly.
Not until he drinks of his uncle's
You work
knowledge
on
potion.
you work on polyjuice potion. That's a hard topic, right? That's hard to do well. Surely someone who's just dabbling couldn't replicate it, right?
She kind of sighs. Well, I mean, it took a lot of work to discover what we discovered, but as it turns out, it's pretty straightforward when you get right down to
Right.
it. It's only 3 ingredients.
Literally, it doesn't even matter how they're mixed or in what proportions. You can just chuck them in a bowl together. And as long as there's a toe in there.
Someone just really needed to be the first one to mix the correct 3 ingredients. There were a lot of explosions to get to this point. But once that happened,
That was obvious. It's called a doppelfly. But the boom slang? Who knew?
that's a real thing and everything.
It's just a little snake.
Honestly, it's a little demoralizing to, at the end of the day, feel like your thesis could have been written by a 6-year-old.
Well, in fact, I wrote your thesis when I was 6. I just didn't publish it because I was kind of embarrassed. I'm surprised you did.
I hate you.
It's fun being headmaster. All right. So what are we thinking?
Well, this was illuminating because this was really what I wanted to know. We suspect polyjuice potion is going on, but you suspected that Lacey was involved, as did I. However, that's not her expertise.
No, but it now seems like anybody could do it once you
It
know
seems like she could well have been doing it alone. I wanted to see if it was a double act.
You're right. That's very fair. There are 2 toes missing.
And it could be. Karina might be lying right now to put all of the blame on Lacey. Who could
Why
swear?
and
But-
when would you prepare to be Niccolo Bartolo Barpodleby? Is it at the meeting? I feel like maybe it must have been at that meeting.
Why? What would he have to offer?
To get the hallucinogen from his venom
That's a good
stock?
point. Does Lacey sell drugs? Is what you're saying.
I don't know. But also, this feels like a clear murder. You want someone to die toeless so that you can find out everything they know. And she has the ash, or she knows about the ash. She knows ash mixed with venom equals bang.
Yep.
So, it feels like a trap that she would set. It's just the timeline of events of how it all played out.
The one thing that we haven't brought in, Karina is still in here. So we need to discuss this fact that Lacey said that she heard Karina doing some yelling.
Oh, yeah, that
We
seemed
need to
be
timeline this.
Sure. How do you propose we do so?
Karina, did you meet up with Bartleby last night? Last night?
No.
I see.
Were you yelling at him?
No.
Is this Lacey trying to
This is an
cast
alchemy
aspersions?
school. People have really big ears.
Yeah, big ears. They're not that potent, so people grow them big.
Ferrets talk.
But here's the thing. Okay, yes, I met with him last night. I didn't want to say for reasons. It was around, I don't know, 7 post Malone, somewhere in there.
Yep, sure.
7:30. And who told you?
No, none of your business. We're investigating this. We'll ask the questions here.
Why does that matter to you so much?
That's a thick door. I'm just confused.
Oh, sorry.
At who would have
The person who told us was the person who had taken the polyjuice potion to pretend to be the guy that you were talking to and yelling at, which is how they knew you were yelling. What were you yelling about?
She looks completely flabbergasted by what you
It's a magic
just said.
school.
And
You study polyjuice potion. How are you not paranoid every day of your life?
I can't believe. Do you think I'm the headmaster? You idiot.
She's like, I can tell when someone has used polyjuice potion.
Oh, yeah?
Don't lie to me.
Think back. Think back to all the subtle signs.
All right,
Was he eating a sandwich?
fine. All right, I'll tell you about our visit.
Please.
I was fed up with him putting a name on papers that weren't his, yada yada. You know all about that now, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, always have.
My gosh. Your attitude is so frustrating.
Oh,
I don't know what you're going on with about Polyjuice, but I know that was Bartleby, okay?
How?
I know it was him. No one else would be so narcissistic. No one else. Here's the thing. Polyjuice doesn't give you memories or anything. And he mentioned the last time he gave me a professionalism violation. And he gave me another. And 2 of those means you can get expelled.
Okay, that's fair.
and you
So-
don't want that.
No one wants to be expelled.
All right. How do these professionalism violations work? Like, what's the process there?
He gives them to
should
Lacey and she
real-
signs them.
I should really know this, but, they're such a boring part of my workday that I don't pay much attention.
Well, basically, a professor can, at will, decide that you've violated the professionalism clause of our agreement. And after that, you, if you get 2, you're kicked out.
But it's just him. Just he makes a little note to himself and and puts a little strike next to your name.
Well, the reason I didn't want to mention it is because as soon as he sent it to you guys, it would have been official.
That's what I was afraid of. I've been lazy at my job.
Don't worry, we just rip those things up. He sends us one every day and we don't pay any attention.
Oh,
You're fine.
With that in
Okay.
mind, what was the first one for again? I don't remember.
more of the same, I guess.
Insolence.
Yeah.
Okay. Not drug dealing.
So, what I'm thinking here, obviously, the fact that Lacey knew about that, but probably didn't overhear it, right? Let's say doors are too thick, you can't overhear her yelling inside.
That's interesting.
Let's do a test. Stand outside the door and I'll yell.
Perfect.
How hurt am I? Ah!
Hardly at all.
Great. So, Lacey knew either, here are the list of ways I think Lacey could know. I think it might only be a 2-point list, but I can't remember. I haven't figured that out. 1, she was Niccolo at the time.
Mhm.
She had that meeting.
Yeah, definitely possible.
2, he had that meeting, then she stole all of his knowledge, including the knowledge that meeting was had and that she yelled during the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, you steal all this knowledge, you would know that that happened.
Very true.
Or, and that also brings up, but it must have been him because he knew about this past infraction. Either A, Lacey already knew about that past infraction, or she had already absorbed his knowledge at the time, hence knowing about the past infraction.
Yes.
There's a lot of layers to how this could have shaken out.
Yes, and I think based on what we have so far and what Karina has just told us, sure, it seems very professorial for him to have known all that information. So I think the fact that it was not Lacey then during that meeting seems believable.
I think it does. Why would you polyjuice into someone and then be like, let me have a quick meeting with one of my students so they can yell at me? Like, I feel like you wouldn't keep that meeting.
So you're thinking that that Lacey has done both the polyjuice and the knowledge swap.
Maybe.
It's a lot.
I have another, actually. Karina, did you just barge in and confront him, or did you have a scheduled meeting, or what was going on?
It's around our regular time. It's been a while since he's given me time to actually talk through stuff with him. So sometimes I kind of just need to hop in. But I have a feeling he knew this conversation was coming with me.
Okay. A regular time thing.
What have we not yet looked at in the room? We've done a lot of book searching. We
haven't looked at the supply cabinet.
We haven't looked in the supply cabinet. We didn't look at Delphinus's side table, did we?
And then there's one more. There's the drawers on the Prime's desk as well.
I was also going to add that to the list.
All right, well, let's do some searching before we do any more thinking.
3 things left doesn't sound like that many. Okay.
Cool.
All right, so smallest first, Delphinus's desk.
Delphinus's desk is a small man, small desk.
Let's
check it
rifle
out.
through it.
Side desk,
right.
please.
Delphinus's desk, it has a little placard on it. You find a key. You find just pretty much a single sheet of paper with the working title of his experiment, the effects of acromantula venom on gold. That's it. And it's pretty bare bones.
The effects of acromantula venom on gold are very significant.
Yeah, not good. All right, key and gold. Anything else on the desk?
Is it a gold key?
No.
Okay, so he's not going to melt it.
Okay, cool. Then let's ignore his side desk. We know he's working on venom and gold. Mm-hmm. And we know he has a key. I'm assuming that's the key to the door? Or is it a key to something else?
You try it on the door, it doesn't work.
All right.
That was quite an assumption.
Or maybe he left it. I just knew he had a key. All right.
Oh, you mean the front door?
Yeah. Maybe it's a key to the supply cabinet. Let's check out the supply cabinet.
All right. Go over there. It's locked.
I use the key.
Whoa.
Wow.
Foreshadowing. It fits right in and it opens. So there you go.
Oh, not that key.
This is incredible.
A different key.
Oh, dang it.
I assume we have our own key.
Yeah, I go to my office to get my key.
We throw out Delphinus's key. Anyway, we're in.
You're in.
All right, what's in this cabinet?
Just loads and loads of various ingredients. You recognize some of them from recent exposure to them. So you see arsenine, you see acromantula venom, you see all in bottles and whatnot. And you also find a little clipboard that says inventory. So it looks like it's a record of ingredients coming in and ingredients going out.
Fair enough. So, should we look for the normal going out, or should we try to go through all of these important jars for discrepancies?
We could check for discrepancies. I wanted to check first. I think we should check for the going outs and stuff. But was there anything that was listed as going in last night?
Ooh, no.
Cool. All good. I wondered maybe there's something to do with he didn't have any venom until the moment that he brought back the venom or whatever, something like that. Do you want to check up on Athenius and Cowbane and Toes?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you look in the supply cabinet. They are there. They are not full.
Cool.
This supply cabinet, I assume this isn't just for Bartleby. I assume this is him and all his assistants get to share it.
Yep, good assumption.
Yeah, fair enough. So, finding out things like, oh, yes, it is true that there are some polyjuice ingredients missing, besides the ones that we already know are out on Karina's desk, wouldn't help us much. Confirmation-wise, it doesn't lead to any identification or tell us what he specifically was doing.
Is there anything in the ins and outs that we would be looking for?
Outside of confirmation of things that we already suspect, I'm not sure. I don't have any ahas that I'm looking for there at the moment.
No. Well, then do you want to just check his desk?
Yep. Let's check the big fancy desk drawers, which we did not yet do.
All right. You open the drawers. There's random quills, ink pens, or ink pots and whatnot. You find a small little notebook. It looks like a diary of sorts.
Yes.
But as you flip through it, Dani, you start feeling a little dizzy. In fact, you start feeling really, really dizzy. So much that you start to slump towards the ground.
Was there
You done, diary?
hallucinogenically? Is these the effects of acromantula venom?
You're not tripping. Your vision is blurry.
Feels more like
it's
arsenic.
Okay.
hard to see what's going on.
I give you the well-known...
What was the cure? Look
the
at
well-known
read it.
cure for...
Read some
no, I
research.
know already what it is.
And we'll cut right there. Will she live? Will she die?
Tune in next week.
A message from the curator. When an exhibit with potions and such is selected, some first-hand experiences should be expected. Dani will survive this, I have little doubt. But the other one, well, his luck might just run out.